Are you or your spouse in denial that your child might have autism? Do you have a child or even a grandchild that you're worried about that might be showing some signs, but you avoid the topic completely? Today, I'm going to cover the top 2 things you should do if you or a family member is in denial. In case you don't know me, I'm Dr. Mary Barbera, and I've been in the autism world for over 25 years. First, as a confused and mom of a son with autism who was in denial when my husband, who was a physician, first mentioned the possibility that our then 21-month-old son might have autism. I told him on that day that I never, ever wanted to hear the word autism again. And then I went into a deep state of denial for over a year. In my defense, this was back in the late 1990s when there were no Google searches and no social media. The rate of autism back then was 1 in 500, and now it's 1 in 36, with 1 in 22 boys having autism. As an autism mom, previously in denial, as well as an autism professional now, best-selling author, behavior analyst, and online course creator, I'm often asked how to get a parent out of denial. Number 1 is offer hope. One of the main reasons for being in denial was fear. The parent in denial is usually afraid of what life will look like down the road if the child has autism or another significant developmental disorder. There is solid evidence, though, to show that intervening early and before an autism diagnosis can help start turning things around and may help your child on, the very severe end of the spectrum come all the way over to, a life that could look really typical. One 2023 study that I summarized in podcast number 259, and that podcast is called Can You Outgrow Autism? This study with over 200 children out of Boston showed that young children who received an autism diagnosis between the ages of 1 and 3 no longer qualified for an autism diagnosis between 5 and 7. I believe the rate was 37.1% of the kids who did get the diagnosis no longer qualified. That is a pretty high percentage, and these are the kids that were definitely diagnosed. So if you don't have a diagnosis, the rate of them needing one or becoming much less severe or higher if you act now. My BCBA mentor, Dr. Rick Cabine, and I also published a white paper showing the remarkable turnaround of a little girl named Elena who went from 2 words to 180 words and phrases in just 1 month of her mom using my techniques from my online toddler course for only 1 month. Now Elena is in elementary school without any support. She's gifted, she's thriving, she's social. I also have lots of online participants who never got an autism diagnosis for their children, and they help them every day overcome speech delays, excessive tantrums, and self-care deficits on their own. And even if your child does go on or already has a level 3 autism diagnosis and continues to have severe autism down the line and requires 24/7 care like my son Lucas does, the strategies you can learn now as early as possible can transform you into becoming your child's best teacher and best advocate for life. The first way to get people out of denial is to offer hope. And the second one is to meet the parent in denial where they are at with data. Let's say your husband is in denial and doesn't want to look into an autism evaluation, but you read some or all of my Turn Autism Around book and or have been watching my videos and my podcasts, and you know the importance of intervening. Meet your partner where they are at. If they're willing to look at a speech evaluation, willing to talk about a speech delay potentially, start by getting that in place. Search birth to 3 services in your state and ask for a multidisciplinary evaluation if possible, not just a speech and language evaluation. If that is all you can get, just get a speech eval. Also, if your partner is not even willing to look into a speech eval or your child is already in speech therapy but showing signs of autism, try to go a step further. First, make sure you read chapters 1 and 2 of my book, Turn Autism Around, through the free book resources if you don't own the book. The link will be on or around this video. Then you can complete a free assessment. It's called the Barbera Early Childhood Assessment, or BECA, B-E-C-A. Then you can search the CDC Act Early website and learn specifically what milestones your child should be reaching. For example, if your child is 15 or 18 months old and doesn't point with their index finger to show you things on a regular basis and doesn't say any words, print out the checklist for their age with this information. If your child's BECA scores are under 85%, also bring this information to your discussion. Plan to have a conversation with your spouse or with your children if you're a grandparent with some information in hand. If one or both parents are still unwilling to move forward with a professional evaluation or professional intervention, tell him or her that you are going to proceed with learning more to help your child. Half the members in our toddler preschooler course don't have a diagnosis of autism for their children. So you can finish reading the book, Turn Autism Around, join our online toddler course with or without a diagnosis. That covers ages 1 to 5. And you can also consider applying for our high-touch coaching program, which I covered in a recent podcast. We can link that as well. Once you both or all start seeing some positive changes and progress from my proven and positive strategies, the parent in denial will probably be more likely to get on board and start learning too. So if you are a parent or a grandparent worried that your young child or grandchild, ages 1 to 5, might have autism, I urge you to download the book at turnautismaround.com, complete the BECA, attend a free workshop, and consider joining our online course and community. This will equip you with the tools and techniques that have helped countless families from over 100 countries. It will also hopefully help you or someone you love get out of denial and embrace effective early interventions. Don't forget to download the resources on or around this video, and I hope to see you in our online community very soon.